the biggest game of the week, potentially one of the biggest games of the season, Texas, Alabama, going to be a movie. Bryant-Denny Stadium, night game, crowd will be ridiculous. Anybody and everybody is going to be there. It will be the zoo. What's it going to take to win that football game? Well, I'm glad you asked. For Texas, I think they win this football game if they can adapt to the style of the fight. And when I say that, I mean, obviously, if you're Texas, you want to dictate terms, right? You want to go out there, you want to sling the football around, you want to let Quinn Ewers cook, baby. You want to show them a little bit of that Texas barbecue. Shout out Terry Blacks. You want to show them a little bit of what you can do, what you did in the first quarter last year. Xavier Worthy, go deep, boss. Adonai Mitchell, welcome to the squad. Go catch a touchdown pass. Jordan Whittington, let's get after it in the slot here, because that was their matchup last year they took advantage of. But if Alabama says, you know what, we saw the tape. Nick Saban's our head coach. He don't like it when you torch his DBs like you did. Yeah, we're a little bit banged up. We'll see how we look in the secondary when it comes to game time. I don't think we'll get a ton of answers at this point in time out of Tuscaloosa with what that back end will look like. I think if Texas has a counterpunch there, if Alabama takes that away and Texas is able to run the football, that would be how you win the football game. Can you beat Texas, or can you beat Alabama, rather, if you're Texas, at their own game? That's what I'm watching. Can you pound the rock? Can you adapt your style? Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you like the video. Completely free. We're so glad to have you here. It's college football and only college football. Want you locked in for the duration of the season. Best way to do that, subscribing to the channel. So thank you for that. Now, defensively, Texas can win this football game. It's going to sound simple, but it's true. If they don't get bullied. And getting bullied does not mean that Texas holds Alabama to under 150 rush yards. It means, can Texas take enough punches in the jaw and still find a way to force a 3-and-out? And when I say 3-and-out, I don't mean three. Well, I guess that's not really a 3-and-out. Can they find a way to force Alabama to eventually punt the football is what I'm trying to get at here. Because Alabama, they're going to run the football. They're going to force the issue. That is who they are. Make no mistake about it. It's been very well broadcasted. There is no secret as to what the game plan is here for Alabama. They want to run the football at you. Can Texas say, all right, stand in there, take a punch or two, gets to 3rd and 4, 4th and 1, we're off the field. Like that kind of situation is what Texas has to do consistently. Because what you want to avoid if you're Texas is how Alabama would in the football game, and Alabama wins the football game by just living in 3rd and 3. That is what they want to do. They want to get success on 1st and 2nd down, get you to 3rd and 3. At that point, the entire playbook is open. You want to commit extra safeties to the box and try and stop the run? Well, if you do, guess what? Got some fast dudes on the outside now. You saw Middle Tennessee. They tried to stack the box too. Didn't work out well for them. Jalen Milroe was just dealing missiles for touchdown passes. You want to live that way? Okay, that's fine. Okay, well, you want to be honest with us in the box? That's fine. We'll turn around and hand the ball to Jason McClellan, get downhill quick, fast, in a hurry. Our linemen, they're freakish. They're monsters. They have bad intentions. They're going to make you submit. That is how they want to get down offensively, and it works best for them in 3rd and 3 because they can be multiple. So keep an eye on that. Defensively now for Alabama, it sounds simple as well, but if they force multiple turnovers, think about the impact that would have on this game. First and foremost, Alabama, they want to play a low margin for error style of football, meaning they're not going to make mistakes. They're going to let you make the mistakes. And so if Texas does that, one, you're on the road, and so you kind of risk the rattle effect, right? You risk maybe Quinn Ewers getting a little bit rattled or the rest of your offense getting rattled and being off balance, and you cannot have that be the case in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. In Bryant-Denny Stadium, with the atmosphere you're going to have, you better keep a cool hand, all right? Having some turnovers doesn't really cater to that. Now, if they do turn the football over, like I was saying, then you just get to rinse, repeat what the offense wanted to do the whole time, which is wear on you, lean on you. You can only have 500 pounds on your back for so long before you start to get shaky and the rest of your body gives out. That is what Alabama wants to be in this game. They want to be that 500-pound weight that maybe you don't feel it in the first quarter, maybe you're strong in the second quarter, but 3rd, 4th quarter, that anaconda starts to squeeze, shortness of breath kicks in there, and then it's just bad news as a whole. And giving Alabama more possessions keeps the defense on the field longer for Texas, and that's just not the way that you want to get down. So that would obviously favor Alabama rather, and put Texas in a tough position there. So what does it mean? What does it mean if Texas wins this football game? That college football playoff buzz, man, starts to grow. Because you look at the rest of the schedule and you say, okay, Texas beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa. I understand now they got to get up for every game. That's a very big part of this. But just on paper, if you can beat Alabama and you're Texas, who are you nervous about on the rest of your schedule? Oklahoma? Oklahoma's got a good roster, but you took care of business last year against them. I understand Dylan Gabriel didn't play in that game, but you look at Alabama, you say Alabama's a tougher test than Oklahoma, right? I mean, for Texas, this would be an enormous hurdle, and the confidence would just grow. Now, if they lose, there's going to be a lot of talk for the entirety of the offseason about what they're going to be when they get to the SEC. Make no mistake about it. There's a lot of people that are ready to just start calling Texas soft, and they're not good enough on the line of scrimmage, and they couldn't beat Alabama, so how are they supposed to compete in the SEC if Alabama's not even the best team in the SEC the last couple of years? Like, well, I take that back. Alabama won the SEC, I guess, 2 years ago. You hear what I'm saying? How are you going to compete in the SEC if you can't hold a candle to Alabama? It's going to be that welcome to the SEC kind of vibe for a lot of people if Texas drops this game. Now, if Alabama were to win this game, would feel a lot like a reminder to the rest of the country who Alabama is and what they have. Because I myself have been very much so in the wait and see mode when it comes to our rankings for them week to week. A lot of these other polls have like some good faith baked in for Bama. That's fair, but they're 125th in returning production. They're not 125th in talent. I promise you that. They have just top 2 classes all over that campus, all over that locker room. Like they have tons of talent in Tuscaloosa. Winning this game with some guys that are unproven would kind of be like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. He's the greatest of all time for a reason. Oh, yeah, I remember signing day now and seeing that script A pretty high up in the rankings almost every single year. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It would also be a lot of validation for the makeover that Nick Saban has caused this team to undergo. Bill O'Brien, Pete Golding, OC, DC, no longer there. You bring in Tommy Rees, you bring in Kevin Steele. You brought him in for a reason because you want to play a different style. A new philosophy at Alabama is underway, and we're going to get the best gauge for it so far in week 2 right here. You beat Texas, a team that has a chance to score a lot of points and is playing kind of that modern style of spread you out kind of football, the RPO system, kind of trendy to a degree, and you beat them playing old-fashioned, throwback Bama kind of football. How validating would that feel for what Nick Saban has allowed this team to do and how he's sort of remade this operation and gone back to his philosophy of we're going to make you quit kind of Alabama football. I think it'd be huge. But if Alabama loses this football game, you know there's going to be a lot of people start getting on the microphone, people that sit in chairs like this and have microphones like this that say, Saban's lost his touch, game's passed him by. Now, I don't believe that. I don't think you believe that either. I don't think people in Texas believe that. I don't think that people in Texas also should believe that they're not ready for the SEC if they lose this football game. But the overreaction will be enormous on either side of this. And the sentiment that people will yell and scream about for Alabama is, well, Saban doesn't have it anymore. Saban needs to go on and get on College Game Day or something because game's passed him by. Again, we don't think either of those things are true. I just want us to kind of safeguard against that overreaction as well as the overreaction that Texas somehow isn't ready for the SEC if they lose to Alabama. Now, we'll kind of use the eye test here and use our best judgment. We'll watch the ball and we'll kind of figure it out. But I just want us to kind of safeguard against some of those reactions because I think you're going to hear a lot of that regardless of the result. Either way, though, man, cannot wait for this game. Cannot wait. We've waited all offseason for week 2. I was asking y'all actually on my Twitter, on my X, I was asking y'all, hey, what's going to be the headlines at the end of week 1? And there were like 3 or 4 of y'all that were like, great, now it's Bama Texas week is what the headline after week 1 should be. And so, hey, it's hard to fault anybody for that because we've had this one circled for a minute and it is finally here. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.